And I think now it's the time to pass on to the panelists. So I would like to ask our panelists to come first. Susan Deer, thank you. Joe, George Hadjimarkos, Sebastian Ebel. Yes, now you can hear me, right? No? Yes, better. Well, you can hear me welcoming, first of all, Susan.
Hi.
Susan Deer, thank you very much. Not only as representing APTA here today for the international relations, Susan is directing both chapters, sustainability and destinations in APTA. So it couldn't be the better person to be here with us today. But not only for that, I have to say, Susan, since the first moment I arrived in the UK and got over my position, APTA was really behind all our projects and all our initiatives, and really thank you for that. So with your expertise, we've read the recent international survey, and I have to say that it was make us really, really proud about the results. Would you like to share it with us?
Thank you, Eleni. Yes, hi everybody. Great to be here today. For those of you that don't know, APTA, the largest UK trade association, wide range of members, travel agents, tour operators, cruise companies, everybody across the board. And yeah, Greece has had a fantastic year, as you've heard from the Minister. And indeed, you know, the UK travel industry has had a good summer. If you consider that we only really opened up towards the end of March, that was when the last restrictions were finally lifted. We then had some operational challenges around the beginning of the season. You know, just like everybody else, we're facing challenges with staffing, getting everything back up to speed, getting everything back up to capacity. And I think taking that all into account, it's been a very good summer. And great to hear the Minister talking about sustainability, and I know we've got a lot more to come on that topic. And we do consumer research on an annual basis, the Holiday Habits Report, which is freely available for you to see. And there's some incredible statistics in there on consumer awareness of sustainability, of the fact that they would now choose to book with a company that is interested in sustainability, and that will obviously translate to the destinations that they offer. And the numbers of customers who consider that important have increased substantially since before the pandemic. And I think, you know, we can all agree, and certainly, again, we have a report out, tourism, there is so much benefit to it, not just economically, not just for the UK and for the destination countries, but also to the individuals who travel. We've all gone through a long period of not being able to travel, and now we're able to go out and see our friends and family again. And it's incredible to have that opportunity, and I think we've seen that pent-up demand that we were talking about for 2 years while we were all locked up at home, that has really translated into travel for this year.
Thank you, Susan. And we do know, and we are very happy with the results coming from sustainability. And that's actually the great news that the Minister just announced about the MOU, that for those that don't know, there will be the signing tomorrow in our stand at noon, along with a Sustainable Greece event. Where Joe, of course, as a founder of Common Seas, he will be able there. Please, Joe, tell us about this fantastic project that we are ready to start off.
Yeah, thank you very much. We're very honoured to be signing the MOU with the government. Many of you can join us.
Sorry, there's no...
Can you hear me? Hey, there you go. Hey, many of you can join us tomorrow. It's working, I think, yeah? At 1:30, where we share lots of different sustainability initiatives that are happening across Greece. So Common Seas is focused on empowering the transition towards net zero plastics in our oceans and in our bodies. We have teams on the ground in Greece, the UK, Indonesia and the Maldives, and they're predominantly working to equip government and businesses and educators with the knowledge to drive policies and systems that deliver a radical reduction in the use of single-use plastic. Where we work, the tourist economy is absolutely critical, and it is reliant on clean and healthy seas. And that's why we're here at WTM this week to launch our brand new initiative, Plastic. Plastic is the first of its kind solution, and it empowers hospitality businesses to radically reduce their single-use plastic consumption, as well as enhancing the customer experience and staying ahead of sector change. Plastic was developed with consultation of 125 businesses, predominantly in Greece. Ocean plastic pollution, as we all know, is a huge problem today, and it's really a pleasant surprise to step foot on a beach that doesn't have plastic pollution today, and yet it's on track to quadruple within the next 20 years. And we really feel that the hospitality sector is in a really unique position to play the role of the peacemaker. Tourism, as you said, creates great value for jobs, infrastructure, invaluable culture exchange, and not forgetting nearly 10% of a global GDP. But also, tourism produces a huge amount of plastic waste, around 4.2 million tonnes a year. And we see this in our work in Paros, where in the tourist season, we're seeing a rise of 3,000% in waste. And in our work in the Maldives, we're seeing a tourist produces about 4 times more waste than a resident does. So this obviously leaves a huge amount of damage to local economies and also to the beautiful, pristine and precious ecosystems. Customers don't like it, as we know, and we're seeing a huge drive in the growth of sustainable tourism, which is really exciting. And we're honoured to be working with Greece, who we think, well, we don't think, they are really positioned as a pioneer in their ambition to reduce ocean plastic by 50%. And this is super good news as long as hospitality businesses can keep up. And this is where Plastic hopes to come in. So we hope to support, well, Plastic is a digital tool, and it's really user-friendly. We hope that you can go online and check it out now. And it helps businesses to measure their plastic footprint, so you can see what waste you're producing today and how it's going to change in the future. And it talks you through various different solutions that you can take to reduce your footprint, so you can feel empowered that you're doing the right thing. And then you can measure progress, which is obviously another very empowering thing, and share learnings with other businesses and learn together. So we're very proud to be launching Plastic with the support of the Ministry and with hotel associations like SETE, and also with the support of the Global Tourism Plastic Initiative, which is an initiative led by the UN World Tourist Organization and the UN Environment Programme. And we hope that you'll come and join us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Joe. Ministry, we'd like to, you're free to intervene whenever you want, so you can break up the flow if you want to.
Fine, just for a second, because I think that the Greek administration, with the leadership of the Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, has already done serious steps towards sustainable touristic models and methods. I want to say that last year we signed with Google, and that has led to 2,000 hoteliers trained in a program of sustainability, and 500 hotels have already received the accreditation from that, and that plastic is something that we do not want to see in our seas, we do not want to see in our beaches, and what we're doing tomorrow is very, very important for us, and once again it involves the hotels, so SETE, of course, thank you very, very much for the support, and the Greek administration, and Greco Islands are already there, and the means of investment in infrastructures are there, the tools of investment are there, because ideas are great, but you have to have money to implement them. So Ministry of Infrastructure, Ministry of Tourism, and the Greek government do have that source from the RRF to use in that. And last but not least, but I will let them talk about it, Yorgos Hatzimarkos and TUI, of course, CoLab is not something theoretical. Maybe it was a vision, but it is starting to be finalized, and we'll see the first steps in the near future. So the floor to them.
Thank you. Thank you, Minister, for your intervention. It is true, Joe, that Common Seas have already, it's a very, very big project, and thank you for really putting that all together for us. But you already started working with some other initiatives, and initiatives starting with Paros. And it's only one of the islands, being in the region of southern region, right, Governor? Already been a successful governor for the second term. There are so many islands that they have already using the sustainable methods. Would you like to share some of this experience for us?
Yes, good morning from me. Coming out.
Is it working?
Huh?
Όχι, μιλήστε.
Yep. Well, coming out of the pandemic was a difficult task. And coming out and trying also to achieve the goal to gain back the economy you had before. So we're very happy and very proud that 2022, this year, we had an increase of 15% from our record year, was 2019, and we broke the barrier of 6 million international passengers at the Aegean Islands, the southern Aegean Islands. So we gained trust and market share, but what we had promised, not only to ourselves, but to the society of the islands during the pandemic, was that we are going to work on the challenges of the future. So starting from the most successful circular economy and recycling project in the world, which is in Tilos. Tilos is an island of around 1,000 people, and now has 87% of recycling. Then to Astipalia, where we have implemented the first in Greece e-mobility or mobility on demand program. Then to Chalki, the GR Eco Islands is a program that is launched in our region, and other islands in Greece are going to follow. Then to Naxos, the Smart Island, in Syros, the International Innovation Center, and then above all, we come to roads. Well, in roads, there is a big program called the Roads CoLab. This is the first ever attempt to transform a destination of that size to a sustainable destination. Where we're in this project with TUI Group, and I want to thank Sebastian Ebel for the trust, the Municipality of Rhodes, and the TUI Care Foundation. So it's an holistic program. It has to do with society first, economy, and of course, the natural environment. So people come to us and say, Minister, we presented this goal, it was January this year, along with our Prime Minister and the Minister of Tourism in the Prime Minister's office. And thank you for the support. We thank the Greek government for the support, our Minister Vasilis Kikilias and our Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis. And people come to us and say, this is very ambitious. You cannot transform a destination of that size, the size of Rhodes, which has that scale, in a sustainable destination. I said, okay, this is not a goal for us that we are in this project, for the Municipality of Rhodes, for TUI, and for our region. This is an obligation. We are determined to make things, to make this work. And the project has already started, has been launched. The very first steps we have a very big and I think very well skilled team, like PricewaterhouseCoopers is also working on that. And I mentioned all the other islands because we now have the knowledge, the know-how, and the experiences to make big things work. So this is a Polynesia of South Aegean region, Cyclades and the Dodecanese Islands of unique beauty. The first tourism destination in Greece. But now, from now, also the hub, the sustainability hub for all European tourism. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Governor. It was a holistic approach of all the islands. There are a lot of islands, and for those that you don't know, the South Aegean, of course, it has the Cyclades Islands, most of the iconic islands in Greece, Santorini, Mykonos, and also the Dodecanese, of course, with Rhodes and Kos. But that's the beauty of it, and that's the beauty of the sustainability project, that new islands, new destinations are emerging. And hopefully, of course, Rhodes, Sebastian, will be the iconic and the showcase for other destinations as well, not only for within Greece.
Yes, and you allow me a few words in the beginning. You have talked about the great success of Greece in the last season, and I really would like to compliment for that, because I know it has nothing to do with luck. It has been very hard work, and it's really amazing what Greece has achieved in the last years. And I think it's a good track record for what we plan to do on Rhodes. One thing is very clear. I know not everyone here is from Rhodes, but who have been there for vacation, as I am being, you always want to return because it's such a marvelous place. We said in a couple of years ago, tourism is a source of good. I would like to add today, only if we do it in the right way, and in the right way means very sustainable, very social friendly, with the people, not against the people. And that's why I was so much honored when I saw this project, what we want to achieve together on Rhodes. Because as you rightly said, if it works on Rhodes, it will work everywhere. And it's so important to do it in a defined space first to learn about. We as a TUI we are long-term committed since years to sustainability, and it always has been my personal commitment during my whole life that we come to a better place, and therefore Rhodes is such a great showcase. And what you rightly said, it's not only about the sustainability in general, but includes the social aspects, the regional aspects, and it's a holistic approach. And if I look at how detailed we have done it, it's not all about it carbon-free, it's about consume of water, it's about waste management, it's about educating people, because without the buy-in of the younger generation and the older generation, you will not be successful. And of course, it's also changing the business model. I mean, it's not always the best to import the big brands into a local market. It's quite advantage if you take local production and you bring it together with local demand, what farmers produce, to bring it to the demand of customers, of hoteliers. And that's the overall approach. That's why it's such a holistic approach. We have very high ambitions. I mean, I remember when we got the first study from our dear consultants, we said, it's great, but isn't it challenging enough? And we said, no, it is not, and we want to be quicker. And we decided on very quick actions, how we can make hotels carbon-free. What are the first steps we want to take? What is the long-term vision? And then we said, it's not about 2040 or 2050, it's about the next decade, till the 2030. And it's not about things which are slightly easier to make a hotel carbon-free, but it's also including the traffic, to make sure that we also revolutionize the traffic, which means a lot of technology which is necessary, the waste management, and also including cruise ships, how to fuel them, and aircraft. So we said we need a very ambitious goal, and we need a very strong commitment to deliver. And I'm very convinced that we will do so, and I'm really happy to work with you all, and I'm sure that we will deliver. And it will not be that we say in 2030 there will be a great future there. You will see the first results in the next year and the year after. And I know that we said plastic free, we said the car rental fleet should go to a significant share with electric engines and so on. And that makes it so really exciting, and to meet together. And I'm very committed, TUI is very committed, and we will deliver. And thank you for this great collaboration. You are so dedicated to it, so trustful, and it's fun.
Great, thank you. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you, TUI, for being a strong partner, of course, to this project.
And I must, because I had forgotten my team, they are also so committed. It's not about me, it's about what you do.
Yes, indeed. We have a very good collaboration in all levels. That's indeed. Starting from Minister, Secretary General of GNTO, local, all the part of TUI as well. Thank you, of course, for that, and it is very important. But we know that there are a lot of challenges coming for 2023. I definitely don't want to be the Cassandra in this situation. We're all very positive. We're all very hopefully positive that it will be optimistic, that it will be a great year, not only for Greece, but for travel again. But I would like to make one more final statement about the future and what is the trends that we see that might come in 2023, starting with you, Susan, of course, having the APTA expertise here for the British market.
Thank you, Eleni. And yes, so exciting just to hear about these actions that are being taken. We've all been talking about sustainability for a long time, but to actually see these projects in action, very exciting. I think we're right to be cautiously optimistic. The Minister obviously referenced the fact that, you know, there are economic challenges ahead. Let's not underestimate what we could face over the next few months. Rising interest rates, people, you know, understanding that their energy bills are going to increase. Our research has shown that people do prioritise their holiday, and they are willing to make cutbacks in other disposable income areas like eating out or going to the theatre in order to protect their holiday. But I think no doubt people will be chasing value next year. They will be looking for value for money on their holidays. And I think we can no longer refer to the consumer as if there is just one consumer. People will be impacted by the financial situation in different ways. If people have paid off their mortgages, they may be retired, they may have money to spend, they will be facing their holiday decisions in a different place to what other people will be doing. You talk about trends. One of the things that we've been hearing about from our members is multi-generational holidays. Grandparents who do have money to spend, who've maybe missed out on celebrations over the last couple of years, wanting to go away with their family, with their children and their grandchildren. So that could certainly be something that we see over coming years. I think a lot of uncertainty, but we have to face it with optimism. We've come through a very difficult 2 years and come through it in a great way. There are these fantastic positive projects where destinations and tour operators are working together to build a more sustainable industry. And hopefully we're back here next year talking about some fantastic developments in that. Thank you.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you for the optimistic message. But I have to say that I keep the multi-generation, and I would like to address it to our Greek stakeholders to take advantage of that, because we definitely have the destinations for multi-generations. Chalkidiki, Crete, Corfu, they're excellent examples that the multi-generation packages offers could work. And I say that so Sebastian can hear me for extra flights to Greece.
And maybe to add, I have 5 kids, 1 wife. And I thought at one stage, out of the 7, it would go 6, 5, 4. Now when we go on vacation, it's 15 or 17. So it's a good way forward to fuel demand.
Thank you. But of course, Joe, we see sustainability. We know that you have great projects but you see also the connection with traveling, right? From your point, from your initiatives that you are taking.
Yes, of course. And obviously at Common Seas we're very focused on stopping that trend of 4 times more plastic that's forecasted within the next 20 years, and we're seeing some fantastic progress, especially with governments like Greece requiring governments to set targets and meet targets. And we're also seeing the United Nations convene a global plastics treaty, which is going to be a little bit like the Paris Agreement, whereby then it becomes very normal for governments and businesses to set plastic emissions targets and report on targets. We've heard of lots of fantastic sustainability initiatives happening in Greece, and also lots of competing sustainability challenges. And that's where we hope that plastic will come in and just help to kind of reduce that complexity for businesses by talking businesses through step by step to understand their plastic footprint and be able to break down the action and focusing in where the biggest wins are. And some of these wins can be quite cost effectively achieved, so therefore not having to pass on an uplift to the consumer, but just a more rounded consumer experience. So yeah, we've got some big ambitions. We're hoping that we're hoping to open tomorrow, and then we're hoping to onboard 10. No, we're not 10. Add a naught. 100 new businesses by the end of the year. So if you're interested in joining the partnership and registering as a business, particularly a hotel accommodation provider, then please speak to me and my colleagues this week. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Joe. And we know, government, that there is already a majority coming of all these hotels and industries for the South Aegean. So what are the future projects and what are the projections that you see for 2023? Is it going to be a good season?
Well, what we've done so far, and what I believe we show that is our motto, is that we don't sit back and wait for the future to come. Okay, we're trying to design what's a part of the future that we expect and the content. So, along with Sebastian, we have 8 kids. And there are 8 very, very serious reasons, to make the Roads Collab successful and make all the initiatives, the sustainability very successful. And I think that we have gained the trust of the people of at least in Europe, and we're very optimistic about the future. The demand is there; it's very strong. But what we're saying is that we're mature enough, responsible enough to welcome people not only in an effort to bring up the economy. No. We invite everyone to our islands to be part of what the future of the sustainable travel destinations is going to be. And it's implemented in the South Aegean region, in the Cycladic and the Dodecanese Islands.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you, and we know that already TUI announced last week about Musement and the great platform about experiences. And again, I eager all the Greek stakeholders to bring up all as many experiences and packages that could become a new product for you. But please tell us, how do you see the projection for 2023 as well?
I mean, one thing is clear, the macroeconomics are difficult. I think that tourism will not so much hit because the wish and the need for vacation is big. Third, I think for Greece is in an absolutely pole position to gain further in this market. Why? First, they should not underestimate it's part of the euro area, which, I mean, takes a lot of price increases out, which countries face, which are dollar nominated. And I think that is a big advantage. Second, the average price increases were moderate, reasonable. Thirdly, the focus on quality is huge. I have seen the ramp up in Greece has worked very well because trained people were there so that we didn't face the challenges. We also faced challenges, but not in the same order of magnitude. And the focus of quality is so important and makes the difference. And fourth, as Governor said, to move ahead in the product quality and sustainability belongs to it. How we treat people, employees, how we add activities to the product is doing very well. And you rightly mentioned the activities. More and more the buying decision is related to the activities people want to do. And Greek offers so much of it in such a variety. The more we bring this content to the consumer, the better it is. So that's why I think I would say cautious optimistic for tourism in general. And I'm optimistic for Greece because the ingredients are there. And what I've seen is everyone here fights hard to get the fair share of market. And if we do that together, it will be a good season.
Thank you. Thank you, Sebastian. A closing remark, the Minister?
Yannis Retsos is here. He represents top shelf resorts, hotels in, let's say, forget about also Athens and Attica. So many difficult years, so many expectations. Everybody thought the sector would be in a very, very difficult spot during the pandemic. We worked very hard with them. They were professionals, top shelf professionals. Grigori Stasios also here. And we were able to make it together. Without vaccines, first year in the pandemic. Only Greece opened. Thank you very much. Only Greece opened with a multiple testing system. Everybody, or many of them, thought that we collapsed. We didn't collapse. Prime Minister took the right decision. Then we lost Russia and Ukraine, of course, this terrible war in the heart of Europe. And we thought that Halkidiki would have such a difficult time. And we thought that generally the sector, since February and March, there was no booking. It froze because of the war, but a very, very difficult time. That wasn't the case. We had a very, very strong year in Halkidiki and in Central Macedonia. And I sent a message that we can find alternative pools of travelers and tourists, and there are professionals there, and the hospitality is high ranked, and that you can even do it and surpass the problems and the obstacles. Rodi Kratsa is here. I'm not talking about Rhodos. Rhodos, you guys in Rhodos, huge revenues and incomes this year. Unbelievable year. Now it's, you should support the rest of the sector now. The guys from Rhodos should support the rest of the sector. Now, Ionian Islands. What an unbelievable year for Ionian Islands, for Corfu, for Kefalonia, for Zakynthos, for... How about the rest of the alternative destinations in the Ionia? Going up north, Parga, about Sivota and Paxous. And there are other destinations. It's incredible. In the 28th of October, we have a national holiday and a national celebration. And there was a basketball game, professional basketball big game in Karditsa. Karditsa with Prometheus. Do you know where Karditsa is? No, you do not know where Karditsa is because it's not a branded touristic destination. The game got postponed because Prometheus, the visiting team, could not find rooms in the hotels of Karditsa. So yes, we do believe that we have branded destinations. We got alternative, I'm not talking about Thessaloniki, Central Macedonia. Branded destinations, alternative destinations. Yes, we had numerous problems and a lot of difficulties, but we were there, correct Dimitris, we were there to fight back. to give it all we got, to do it as a team together, private sector, public sector, regional officers, mayors, municipalities, private sector, huge brands. It's a big effort, it's a big team, it involves everybody. Yes, there are difficulties in the future, but I do believe that we will overcome them. I do believe we'll make the best of the opportunity, and I do believe that the Greek people are worth, you know, this rumor and this legacy of hospitable people with an open heart, and open arms for travelers, for tourists. It doesn't matter the money. It doesn't matter the portfolio. It doesn't matter where you come from. There's a place in Greece for you where you can spend your vacations, or how about the Greek weekend, the fantastic Greek end, or winter vacations. We talked about the ski resorts, because Greece does have a winter, and we've proved that right this year, and beautiful city break with Athens and Thessaloniki and Patra and Iraklio, which we promote around the clock with the GNTO. So once again, very, very happy to have you 2022. Waiting for you 2023, but we also have digital nomads, correct?
Yes, indeed, and thank you, Minister, for giving me such a great pass to go from the next Traverse project that we had. We had just a month ago, exactly just a month ago, we were in Thessaloniki, along, of course, with the organization and the municipality and the region, as you said, all working together, and of course with Chalkidiki, because Thessaloniki and Chalkidiki, they're promoted as a combined destination.